Morning Glory host Matty Johns standing by. G'day, Matty.
Hey, Joel, Fletch, tourists, what's going on, boys?
MJ. Hey, Matty, did you know the tourist has got size 15 feet? Size 15.
What?
Yeah, they're big.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that tourists are starting to gather some notoriety because someone asked me the other day, they were out and they said, we listened to you on Joel and Fletch and the tourist. And they said, and they were asking about the tourist, and I thought, mate, it doesn't take long. When you're on a high-rating show, it just tourists, your life is in the midst of changing.
He got spotted at a house inspection, and the bloke went up to him and said, "Excuse me, mate, I don't want to be hassly or anything, but are you the tourist? Could you sign my croc?" The bloke
I don't know. He didn't say that.
Yes, he did. He said, "Can you sign my crocs?" Because you're...
Mate, I tell you, this is how it happens. This is how it happens, mate. Honestly, your life, it'll never be the same. Although, just like, it must have been the first time. Are you the only Scotsman, by the way, in Sydney? Is that why he picked your voice?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Irish in Sydney, but I don't know if there's a lot of Scottish.
Hey, Matty, you love it. So he's such a professional too. So we do Team List Tuesday, and we're all on the screen for the YouTube, aren't we, Brian?
Yep.
And every week, every Tuesday, he says, "You know why I'm wearing my good shirt? Why is he wearing it, Brian?
Because he's going to be on air.
He's going to be on air." So he gets his good shirt ironed, pressed, and off he goes.
Now, Matthew, what's your plan this year at Magic Round? Because this is our 5th year we've been going up. What are we going to do? Are we going to take it? Well, tell me your plan, because on Saturday you're quite busy, I understand.
Well, Fletcher, on Saturday, not too bad. On Saturday from midday, myself and the family, we have got a live podcast coming from Lefties on Caxton Street. And then as soon as it ends, I'm going to saunter straight across the road because Brad and Gary, Gary Smythe and Brad Smith, they've got like a nod to the 80s.
Yes.
And so I'm going to duck across there. And say good day to the boys. It's good because, I mean, I know Gary just got out of jail a few months ago. He spent he copped 9 months for unpaid child support to about 41 different former partners. Yeah, so duck over and see those boys. But and the other one too, I got a text message today, Fletch, from a certain Brad Cox saying that he's going to Magic Round and wanted to know if we wanted to catch up with a beer with him again. I said, Friday. Yep. Friday? What do you think?
On Friday, definitely. Friday we are in. Thursday I'm taking it easy because we're taking Gordon up onto apparently there's a new restaurant in Brisbane where you eat on the side of a building. What? So you got to get strapped in. Gordon doesn't like heights. So we're taking him there for brunch. And you sit on the outside of a building in a harness.
On Saturday?
No, we're doing that Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
But Friday, I'm ready to go.
Thursday.
Hey, this text comes through, boys. You can both answer this. Hey, Steve from Perth. He says, boys, I'm flying into Brisbane Sunday Arvo and was going to head to Caxton Street to get a feel for Magic Round. Where will the Matty Johns show be on the Sunday?
It's usually in the forecourt, isn't it? In front of the Wally studio?
That's it. If you go straight to the Wally statue, we're pretty much there. Yeah, it's at the forecourt. So... if you it gets pretty packed there, it gets pretty wild, but mate, go there. And I tell you what, if you probably I reckon about 20 minutes before it starts, if you can't get a seat, if you just loiter around the front there, and mate, if you see us come along, give us a bit of a bump, let us know who you are, and mate, we'll get you in.
Now, Matty, we were talking about this last week. All the soft tissue injuries, calves, hamstrings, groins. You've got a bit of a theory, don't you?
I have. I of course, fellow Novocastrian is Craig Johnston, as you know. Craig Johnston played for Liverpool, invented the Predator boot, and he knows more about football boots and how they should be designed and what they should look like and how they should feel. He knows more than any person on the planet, and he's been really critical of modern-day boots. He said that they lack support. He said the grip on them is too acute, which leads to ACL injuries, patellar injuries, and hamstring and calves. Now, he said this 2 years ago. So I tend to agree. I think I think it's worth examining. If someone like Craig Johnston comes out and said 2 years ago that there's going to be an increase, or there has been an increase and it's going to continue, then I think there's a bit of credence in it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I'm starting to think the fella over in Philadelphia is a myth.
Oh,
the Hemi doctor. I'm starting to believe. Yep, I'm starting to think that we don't need to go over there.
Nah.
Like
placebo, isn't it?
He's done 6 Hemis now, Tommy.
Yeah.
And Pappy, since he's got back, he just gets injured.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about this too is they're talking about sending Nathan to Qatar, and you just go, man, like seriously, like. I mean, can it be that much different from what our guys do? I remember, Fletch, when we and Joel, when we were over there, right, there was a guy in France, because I had a lot of hamstring problems, and at one point they were considering sending me to, wait for this, a dentist in Paris who was doing all the players at the time, the Premier League players and that, who had hamstrings, and he would put like a what do they call those things? What are the Invisalign type?
Like a retainer.
Now it was like. Yeah, he would put it. He believed a lot of hamstring injuries started in the jawline, would go down into the back, and so on and so forth. He made a fortune, I'd imagine, out of some of the Premier League players, because apparently they're all going over there.
Can't rugby league cotton onto something? Like even those power bands people are getting around in.
Oh, yeah. What the Breathe Easies.
Oh, the Breathe.
Breathe Easies.
I signed up to a crappy deal for the Breathe Easies, and then all these old photos is me with this little Band-Aid on my snoz.
Did you ever go through the Vaso on your knees because Ray Price did it?
No, I didn't do that, no.
Yeah, my old man used to. His photos. My old man used to literally, when he played, had like a bowl, like a whole container of Vicks vapor rubs up his nose and all across his face. The old man.
Are smelling salts illegal?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, they're not.
Fletch. No.
I saw it. If they cut to the dressing rooms, you see the players with the smelling salts still. But I imagine they would be illegal as far as head knocks.
Yes,
because that's what would happen. You know, you get a head knock. First thing would happen, the guy would run onto the field, the trainer, and just stick some smelling salts up your bugs, and away you'd go.
Oh, simpler times. Simpler times.
You just know, boys. You can see this already, and unfortunately, it's going to happen soon. Where there's a HIA in one of the prelims, and because of the 11 days, someone's going to miss the grand final. So it's going to happen soon, right? And that's when the noise is going to prep up around the 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
You know, like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. At this time last year, you're pushing the same thing, Joel.
Yep.
You are a dog with a bone.
That's exactly right.
He is. But it'll come to fruition.
And we all want it.
Yeah,
Would you like to see that?
Yeah, I would.
A week off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that week off. Like you could play test matches, or you could play an all-star game. You could do all sorts of things. I think it's definitely got some merit.
Wouldn't even be a bad way to do the third, like the women's origin, because that's the end of their season, and you may maybe do that.
Yeah. Or gives a chance everyone to go away, just relax before the big the finale.
Fletch,
yes,
I've got something for you.
Yeah.
Did Hindy tell you? Right. So on our Sunday night show, Joel, Tourist, Brooksy, what we're doing, we I don't know how it came about, but we started mentioning the great John Rowles. Actually, it was with Laurie Daly. Now, for people who don't know John Rowles is basically he's New Zealand's version of Tom Jones and Elvis Presley rolled into one. Wayne Newton. He's over in Australia all the time. Anyway, we're sort of taking the piss talking about, because I was at an Origin thing once with the team, and John Rowles went down to the bar, and John Rowles was performing, and he got up on stage and said, I love my rugby league and I love the New South Wales side. Let's get up a great mate of mine, the captain, Warren Daly, right? And so we're taking the piss. Anyway, John Rowles' manager reached out to Hindy and said, John Rowles has just released a new song, and my dear brother Andrew and I get a start in the song.
Oh, we've got to listen to
it. So, well, we get a mention right at the back end. It's very, very quick. But Brooks, I don't know if Brooksy's got it there. Just have a listen to the song.
Here's the song.
Where would we be without a ball?
I don't mind the bass.
Where would we be? Where would without a ball.
What it is,
Take us to the Johns part,
Where
please,
would
Jules.
we be?
well, what he does, if that song had a twin brother, it's we didn't start the fire. So he runs through all the sports and starts rattling off all the names in different sports.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
Here we go, Matthew.
Brad Fittler, Wally Lewis, Laurie Daly, Ricky Stewart, Colin Meads, Pine Tree, Grant Fox, Bream on the Box, George Lippia, Don Clark, Walker Nathan, we on the nation, Brian Williams, Sonny Bill Williams, Jordy Barrett, Bowden Barrett, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Green Bay Packers, 49ers, LA Rams, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, Atlanta Falcons, Inga the Winger, Balmaninga, Ricky McCaw, Mighty Score, John Cohen, Christian Cullen, Sean Fitzpatrick, Ball Magic, Black Caps, White Caps, Football Ferns, Silver Ferns, Joey Johns, Matty Johns, Hittenhausen,
Johnny Rowles.
Oh, wow.
Sir John Rowles.
He's got a bit of a cabaret feel to him, Rowles.
It has. He's very Tom Jones, Wayne Newton like. Now, boys, in the words of Sugar Cane, boys, just stay with me. I've got something for you. Righto. Yeah. Now, Netflix. After watching Baby Reindeer, I troweled through and was looking for something else. Found this doco. Boys, it's insane. Now, it's called The Final Attack on Wembley. So do you remember in 2022 the Euro final, which was Italy versus England at Wembley Stadium, and it was the first final that England had been in, a major final they'd been in since 1966 when they won the World Cup at Wembley, right? And it's the whole story about, if you remember, there was riots out the front, and basically the crowd, all these tens of thousands of young guys just stampeded and got in for nothing. It's the whole story about that and how it transpired. I tell you what, it's been totally underestimated how wild that was. It shows the whole lead up through the days. On the day, I've never seen anything like it. How someone did not die it's a minor miracle. But have a look at it. It's The Final Attack on Wembley. You'll love it. It's insane.
So, Brian, he's never seen anything like it. Aren't you seeing a bit of a correlation here? Italy were in the game. There's a real Italian...
Oh, you're talking about Bowser Man.
Bowser Man.
Oh, Matthew, have you seen Bowser Man? Oh, yeah, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah, I have. I have. God, I tell you what. By the way, he was giving the old fella a toke. It was certainly... it wasn't unleaded.
I've never seen
Italians.
it. Now, Matthew, let's get into it. We want to get we've been doing a rolling New South Wales team. Who's your 6? Who's your 7? Who's your 1? And who's your 9?
Well, hang on.
Fletch.
Before you do that, Brian, because the board's lit up, right? There's names like Kiraz and Townsend, and you said this earlier on.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, I did say this. Well, break.
Yep.
And then Matty Johns will be with us just after 5 o'clock. And boy, has he got a smoky for the Origin. Would you like to tell us, Matthew?
There it is. Smoky. I think. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a theory, right? I've got a theory. I'm going to talk about it on Morning Glory.
Yes.
But I want to share it with you. I want to share an aspect of it with you. Look, as far as the half's concerned, it's becoming last man standing. So at the moment, you'd say it's Moses and Nico. But if Moses doesn't play enough football, look, it might be Matty Burton. I don't know. But if you have a look, it's not until sometimes you write the team down or your team that you believe will be picked or close to, then you realise, you start to look at the dynamics of the side. One of the things we've got to be really, really careful of is in the previous 2 State of Origin series, New South Wales, we've been far too pass-centric, particularly at the start of the football game. And if you look at the makeup of the side, I think most people at the moment would have in the starting lineup Isaah Yeo and Jake Trbojevic. Now, if you've got Isaah and Jake, now they like to play a very, very similar style, right? Slightly different in aspects, but you know that shape. They both like to go up, saunter the line, look shorter out the back. Now, if you've got Jake and Isaah doing that, then on top of that you got Mitch Moses and you got Nico. here we go again. We're starting to just advance the ball constantly towards the sideline. I think there's a few things you could do here. One of which, and just go with me on this, right? And I haven't thought it out completely. I would give serious consideration, because I don't think you should start. Madge should start the game with Jake and Isaah on the paddock together. Certainly not the first 20-25 minutes. I would actually think about a consideration of a last minute switch of going McGuinness starting at 13, Isaah off the bench, and then swap it at 20 minutes. So at 20 minutes, what would do, Isaah would go on for McGuinness, and I would put Junior Bolo on for Jake, and then McGuinness looked to put McGuinness on the field, say 10 minutes at about the 50-minute mark. Give him 15 minutes and dummy half if Appy doesn't need a rest before that, and then let Appy finish the last 15 minutes of the game. But I just think at the moment we've just got to be careful when we pick the side that we just haven't got too many passers who like to play the same way. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you start with a junior or someone else and bring Jake off the bench. But I honestly think in those opening exchanges we need to keep things simple, and we've just got to be careful not to be passing the ball towards the touchline.
Will he pick Teddy, Matty?
I'd pick Dylan Edwards. Teddy's in great form. He's playing fantastic. But if you keep picking the same side, and incumbency, we've spoken about this before. Incumbency really should only apply if on a winning series. If you won the series, you deserve preferential treatment. But we've lost the last 2 series in a row. You can't keep going with the same blokes, And what can happen sometimes is. They playing good at club level, and they go, oh, let's just go again, and suddenly you end up with the same makeup of the side. I think it's time for a change.
And the way, the last few years, Freddie had a lot of Penrith blokes in there for good reason, obviously, but they were just playing the same way. Queensland were offside, and in Origin, we know what happens. You hold them down, and we were telegraphing those, and you can't do it if you don't have a good play the ball, and you're not rolling through the middle. There's no point. Isaah just passing it to Nathan for the sake of it.
Okay, what about this? You'd be shocked by this.
And here's the other thing, right? This is, and Isaah, I believe, is probably the most intelligent player in the competition with his sidekick Nathan. Very, very intelligent player. But what you want at the start of the game, you want upfield thrust, and what you want Nico Hines and Mitchell Moses to find rhythm. You don't want those 2 blokes trying to find rhythm at the start of a game and competing with football with Isaah. Keep Isaah out of the fire for the first 20 minutes, and when the defence starts to loosen, let him go and put him on the field.
You boys will be gobsmacked and shocked by this, but I have an idea.
Here we go.
I have an idea.
Come on, Sugar, hit us.
I'm just thinking about this. So there's been some noise today, Matty, around Zach Lomax potentially being the winger. I would prefer, if we're going to go down Edwards' path, which I actually like, James Tedesco on the wing. Are you against that?
The only thing about it, Joel, is that wingers defensively rely very much on instinct and the ability to read play. And instinct and gut feel and reading play is from experience in that position. And oftentimes, there's so many times in State of Origin that a winger can find themselves 2-on-1 or even 3-on-1, and they've just got to make the right defensive decision. And a lot of that it can be chance, a little bit of guesswork, but it's from what they've seen before. And so, I like to go. I want to go with experienced wingers who defend their week in, week out.
So what's your gut feel then? So Toto's going to be there. Is Daniel Tupu out of the picture, by the way?
I think he is.
Is he?
I think for the same reason we've spoken about Teddy. I think for the same reason. It's an interesting one, the other winger. Suoli'i's putting his hand up.
There's a real thing.
No one runs harder than him.
No.
Mate, and that's the thing about it, is you want upfield thrust. Addo-Carr, deserves mention, I told incumbency, just purely on speed. Speed to score tries, speed to save tries.
What about this one? What about this for a Smokey? Sione Katoa from the Sharks.
Yeah.
He's eligible. He's eligible.
He's also a right winger.
He's eligible. He's tough. He's a legit winger. Like, we're talking about playing centres or fullbacks on the wing.
Yep.
We could chat all day, Matthew. Chat all day.
What would we be without a ball? Where would we be without a ball? Fletcher, Joel, Keen, Tourist, Brooksy.
Tourist has got a ball. Right in his pants.
See you,
That's what I just saw.